I move through existence with splinters still lodged in my spirit, carrying apologies that never found their mouths, carrying the quiet shame of having known better and still choosing wrong. Do not bow to me, for there is no need. I have dragged my shadow through sanctuaries and called it faith. I have learned how easy it is to look whole while quietly falling apart. How silence can dress itself as strength, and exhaustion can pretend to be peace. There were days I mistook endurance for healing and survival for growth. I kept moving, not because I was brave, but because stopping felt too close to truth. I have spoken words that sounded right, yet came from fear. I have stood in places meant for reflection and used them as shelter from myself. I called it discipline. I called it belief. But deep down, it was only avoidance wearing a respectable name. I am not here to teach you how to be better. I am here because I am still learning how to be honest. Honest about the cracks I tried to decorate. Honest about the weight I carried and secretly judged others for dropping. There is a strange comfort in pretending we are finished works. But I have found more truth in admitting this. I am incomplete, and every step forward is taken with hands still shaking from the last fall. I have watched how judgment grows quietly inside the heart. Not as cruelty, but as protection. A way to stay above the pain we refuse to face. It sharpens slowly, disguised as wisdom, disguised as concern. I once believed that seeing clearly meant seeing others clearly. Pointing out their flaws felt like clarity, but it was only distance. Distance from my own reflection, waiting patiently in silence. Fear is clever. It borrows the language of certainty. It tells us we are right, while gently teaching us to harden. And over time, the hand that holds the blade forgets it can let go. I have felt that forgetting. The warmth of judgment settling into my palms. It felt earned. It felt necessary until it began to burn, because what we hold too tightly begins to shape us. And I became someone who could name the cracks in others while refusing to trace my own. Not out of pride, but out of quiet exhaustion from looking too closely. I have learned that running does not always look like escape. Sometimes it looks like progress, like constant motion, like never staying long enough for the questions to catch you. I ran with purpose, with reasons that sounded responsible, but beneath them was a quieter truth. I was afraid of standing still with who I really was. There is a moment when silence grows heavy, when it stops being empty and starts asking things. That is when I felt my strength fade, not because I was weak, but because pretending takes more energy than we admit. My wings ached from carrying an image I could no longer support. The effort to seem unbroken began to weigh more than the truth itself. And so my voice softened. Not out of fear, but out of tiredness. Tired of defending a version of myself that no longer felt real. Tired of proving worth through endurance alone. I did not collapse all at once. I simply stopped running. And in that pause, something honest finally reached the surface. I no longer speak from a place of certainty, only from understanding that arrived late and stayed quietly. I have nothing to offer that resembles perfection. No throne, no final answers. Only this awareness that we are all paused somewhere between who we were and who we are becoming. Unfinished sentences waiting not to be corrected but to be read with care. If I stand beside you now, it is not as someone above you. It is as someone still learning how to stand at all. My hands do not reach out to fix you. They reach out because they still tremble. And in that trembling, I finally recognize something true. Brokenness is not failure. It is evidence of having lived without armor, of having tried. So if you see yourself here, know this. You are not late. You are not wrong. You are simply human, and that has never been a crime. If these words stayed with you, you don't have to explain why. You're welcome to stay, to listen quietly, to return when something inside you feels familiar again. Subscribe, not for answers, but for reflections. And if this spoke to you, share it with someone who doesn't need fixing, only understanding.